Hey guys, Twice here with the final video of our nation analysis. This one is going to be on the nation of Stargate, one of my personal favorites. So Stargate, again, does have three real clans. We have Nova Grappler, Dimension Police, and Link Joker. A Stranger is technically a clan, except it's more of like a cameo clan. It really is just like a joke. They kind of like make fun of other clans, and they don't really have any triggers or anything, and they have things like I think it's like Power Rangers and even Spider-Man as cards. So we're not going to really go over it because it really isn't, like an in-game clan. But the first one we're going to start off with is Nova Grappler. Now the story behind Stargate is that it is actually the southern pole of Cray, and it's more like a spaceport. So I guess that kind of means that you're going to see a lot of aliens and robots and futuristic stuff in here. And there's some really interesting personalities in a lot of these clans. But I'm going to start off first with, again, Nova Grappler, because it is actually my favorite clan. And Nova Grappler is one of the original 4 clans, like the ones that got support in set 1 that were kind of a big focus in that set, and that were also Oracle Think Tank, Royal Paladin, and Kagero. And it's used by Kamui Katsuragi in the anime, and Kamui has used this clan since, I think, episode 5. When he first showed up. And I think he's the only original character who has not changed clans throughout the entire series. Which just goes to show that Nova Grappler does have a lot of support, as you can see. It has 2 extra boosters that are devoted exclusively to itself, same with Oracle Think Tank, but it has also gotten a considerable amount of support in Season 3. Now, Nova Grappler has a lot of different subclans. However, the big ones, the ones that are actually real subclans, are Blau, Beast Deity, Death Army, and Razors. Ashura kinda, but they only have 4 cards that are really part of exclusively Ashura support. But these 4 are actual subclans. They have support that is, exclusively for them. But there's a lot we could go over on Nova Grappler because it is such a big clan. Their main strategy is to restand rear guards and to unflip damage. That's really just what Nova Grapplers do. And I guess the card that can kind of emphasize the restanding is my personal favorite card, Strongest Beast Deity Ethics Buster Extreme. Ethics Buster Extreme came out in set 13. His ability is Limit Break. When this unit's drag check reveals a grade 1 or higher card with Beast Deity in its card name. Choose one of your Nova Grappler rear guards and stand it. So every single turn you're going to be able to restand your rear guards, because even if you drive check a trigger, you could drive check another Beast Deity. And the Beast Deity archetype is kind of designed around if you stand one, you're able to stand a lot of them. Like their starter, Beast Deity Right Horn, says that when the unit in front of him stands, then he'll stand as well. He's a starter. So yeah, that's kind of what the Beast Deities are meant to do. It's all about restanding. But then you have the Blaus, which are kind of the same thing. However, they're more about the pressure of allowing, their units to restand. And the leader of that one is Galaxy Ballkluger, another one of my favorite cards. So Galaxy Ballkluger, who looks like the Gundam that never was. His limit break is counterblast 2 and choose 2 Nova Grapplers from your hand and discard them. When your Vanguard or Rear Guard with Blau in its card name hits a Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, stand all of the units in the same column as him. So you're going to stand your entire Vanguard column. That really is just what the Blaus do. They're all about restanding based on the Vanguard. There are cards like Mars Ballkluger, where when your Vanguard's attack hits, you can counterblast 1 and he'll restand with 5,000 more power. So that really is the entire strategy of Nova Grapplers, is to restand their rear guards as many times as possible to get off as many attacks. To get power from doing so, to get abilities from doing so. And I guess one of the other cards that can kind of just emphasize this is the original Nova Grappler, Ashura Kaiser. And his ability is, this is not a limit break, when this unit's drag check reveals a grade 3 Nova Grappler, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. So there you go, just a free stand. That's all that Novas are meant to do. Very big clan, lots of support. Again, we have a very stable character. I say stable with a laugh because Kamui is the loudest character in the anime. But yes, a very fun clan to use. The other major one is going to be Dimension Police. So Dimension Police's strategy is kind of interesting. It's all about the Vanguard, like giving abilities to the Vanguard, giving power to the Vanguard, making the Vanguard as strong as possible. And right here we have two of their main cards. This is Super Dimensional Robo Daikaiser, and this is their original boss card, Super Dimensional Robo Dayusha. And it's funny actually because the Dimension Police are designed around like 1980s like Power Rangers robots and stuff like that, or like robots from Kamen Rider. So that's where they get most of their design motifs, and they like can combine into bigger robots and stuff like that. It makes for some very interesting cutscenes in the anime. But their two main subclans are the Dimensional Robos and the Metal Borgs. Metal Borgs are Season 4. Dimensional Robos were really their main subclan. But I'm going to go down to probably one of their main cards, the main boss cards as of right now, which is Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Dayusha. So Great Dayusha came out in Set 8, and as you can see right here, he's actually a cross-ride of regular Dayusha, which it says it right here. His limit break is, during your turn, if the number of cards in your soul with Dimensional Robo and his card name is 3 or more, he gets 2,000 power and critical +1. So, immediately you're seeing that this card has a passive critical. He can deal a lot of damage to your opponent by himself. And if you combo him with the Break Ride, as soon as I can get back to the page, Super Dimensional Robo Daikaiser right here. This is again the card that I showed you at the top. Daikaiser is their Break Ride, and his Break Ride skill is Counterblast 1. When a Dimension Police rides this unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose your Vanguard until the end of that turn. It gets 10,000 power, an extra critical, and the ability of when this unit's drive check reveals a grade 3 Dimension Police, choose one of your opponent's Guardians, one of their units that they're protecting themselves with, and you retire it, so that thing is no longer guarding their Vanguard. And that unit's effects with cannot be hit is nullified. So basically, your Vanguard gets 10,000 power, an extra critical, and they're able to retire perfect guards. That's what the Break Ride does. Again, it's all about the Vanguard. However, what the Dimension Police, or what the Dimensional Robos, rather, one of their main subclans, were really good at is giving abilities to their Vanguard as well. And I'm going to show you Dimensional Robo Daibare. He was actually a promo card, but he's definitely one of the most useful cards to put in any Dimensional Robo deck. His ability is Counterblast 1 and put him into the soul. You choose your Vanguard, and it gets 4,000 power, and when its attack hits a Vanguard, you can choose a rear guard and retire it. So immediately you see that this is again what their strategy is. To give power to the Vanguard, to give abilities to their Vanguard and stuff like that, to just make it as strong as possible. And it really does work because it's a lot of pressure on your opponent. But one of their other main cards, like one of their main centers of their strategy, is Commander Laurel. Commander Laurel came out in Set 4, and his ability is choose 4 of your Dimension Police rear guards and rest them. When your Dimension Police Vanguard's attack hits, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 1 of your Vanguards and stand it. So if your Vanguard's attack hits, you can rest 4 of your rear guards and then restand your Vanguard for a second attack, which can be incredible early game because cards like regular Dayusha can get an extra critical to where if they do hit and your opponent takes like 2 or 3 damage, then you're going to be able to stand your Vanguard to potentially do that again. It's very easy to win in one turn with abilities like this. So yeah, that's kind of what the Dimensional Police are supposed to do. The other major clan in Stargate is actually Link Joker, which was kind of the enemy clan of Season 3, and what is looking to be the enemy clan of Season 4. But Link Joker is all designed around locking your opponent's units. And that was kind of like the big motif, like that's how they like control the opponent's like field and units or whatever. Locking just means that your opponent can't use that unit for that turn and until the end of their turn. And basically what locking does is the card cannot be used at all. Like it's as if the rear guard circle no longer exists for the remainder of their turn and the remainder of your next turn. But their major subclan is the Starvaders, and the big boss card that they have, at least probably the one that everyone knows, is Chaos Breaker Dragon. Came out in Set 13. Chaos Breaker's ability is Limit Break. Soul Blast 1 card with Starvader in its card name during your opponent's end phase. When an opponent's locked card is unlocked, so when they can use it again, you may pay the cost. If you do, retire that unit, and then you draw a card. And the thing is that you can use this ability multiple times. So let's say your opponent has 3 locked rear guards. You can Soul Blast 3 Starvaders and retire all 3 of those cards and draw 3 cards before the start of your turn, which is incredible. This card is the definition of a draw engine. And the thing is that his second ability is what really makes him strong. Counterblast 1 and choose a card with Starvader in its card name and discard it. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it, and that can be any unit. So he's able to consistently lock your opponent's rear guards, so your opponent has less attack, less power, and so that you'll be able to retire those units at the end of their next turn. So that's kind of what the Link Joker designed to do. However, they're also based on reverse cards. Reverse is like a phenomenon that they created by like locking or like, you know, taking control of certain units. There are cards in other clans that are reversed, and that's because of Link Joker. But the main card for that is Starvader Omega Glendios. Glendios is the main card that came out in set 15. He has 2 limit break abilities. The first is an ultimate break, limit break 5. At the beginning of your main phase, if the number of your opponent's unlocked cards is 5 or more, so basically their whole field, you win. That's literally his ability. His secondary ability is limit break 4. Counterblast 1 and choose 1 card with reverse in its card name from your hand to discard it. That can be of any clan. He's meant to work with a lot of different cards of different clans. All of your opponent's locked cards cannot be unlocked during your opponent's next end phase. So your opponent is really put at a disadvantage here because they're losing their rear guards for like 2 turns, which is really that can be detrimental to the success of their field. Next we have when your unit with reverse and its card name is placed on the rear guard circle, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it, and then that ability can only be used once per turn. And then his other ability is all of your rear guards with reverse and its card name are also Link Joker, and during your turn those units get 4,000 power. And since all reverse units have a base power of 11,000, they'll be swinging for 15,000 by themselves. So this is again what Link Joker does. It's all about locking the opponent's units, preventing those units from being unlocked, preventing your opponent from really having a field so that they themselves can gain a strong advantage. And yeah, so this has been pretty much all of Stargate. It is a very interesting kind of nation because the units themselves, or the clans, have a very good motif to them, as we saw with Nova Grambler with the restanding, with the wrestling, or like the robots and the different kinds of subclans. The Dimension Police with the look of them, they look like Power Ranger robots kind of, but they're really cool. And then Link Joker with this alien invaders cyber technology, like that's what they're supposed to look like. So yeah, that's been Stargate. It is definitely one of my favorite nations, but thank you again for watching this far. I hope that this video series would be helpful to incoming players. Perhaps some of these videos were a little bit long, but there is a lot to talk about in some of these clans, and I do know more about some clans than I do about others because I just play them more. And so, you know, if the analysis does seem a little bit off, I do encourage you to go to the wiki and look at these clans for yourself, because the wiki is a great source of information. It's where I've been getting all of it thus far. It has amazing analysis of all of these clans and a list of all of their cards. So thank you again for watching this video series. If you are a new player coming into Vanguard, welcome to the game. It's always great to have new people coming in because it really does make the community stronger. And thank you again for your support for our channel. So remember to always have a great day and keep card fighting. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.